News Talk 1450 WOL is everywhere you are at WOLDCnews.com.
Yes. All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Before MD take over, I definitely want to read this. There was an absolutely awesome article in the Washington Post on this Saturday in reference to the Council of Fashion Designers of America Awards. They had their award ceremony, and Diane von Furstenberg, when she delivered her opening remarks, she said that she reminded the designers that racial diversity and healthy physiques should be a part of the basic requirements when casting a runway show. It talked about how the audience had murmured their assent in reference to agreeing with her that we have to change the way the runway shows look. You know, and Robin, the editor, mentioned that fashion is changing slowly, too slowly perhaps. So we want to hear your comments today on the Sea Island Morning Show, 1-800-450-7876. You know, I have traveled extensively, MD. I've been to Paris, I've been to London, I've been to Switzerland, I've been to all of the fashion capitals, I've been to Milan, all these places, and not only in the United States, but also I think abroad as well. Now, even though the Italy Vogue had came out with an all-black issue, right, a couple of years ago, but my take is, what are we going to do about it? That's my question. My question is, what are we going to do about every time we see a runway show? And we won't even get into, I'm going to let you talk, but we won't even get into the New York Fashion Week and how they said over a third of the designers had not one black person on the runway working for them. I have a problem with that.
Well, see, Alan, I know for a fact that we as black people are unrepresented, as far as the runways are concerned, but not just black people, Latins, Egyptians, Asians, Japanese. Why is it?
Well, I'm not Latin, Asian, or Japanese.
But I'm just saying that why do we feel as black people that just because we spend a lot of money in those stores that we're the only ones that are complaining about not being on the runway? I did a little homework before I came here. As far as
I got a problem.
As far as the luxury brands are concerned, mm-hmm. You know who spends the most money?
Who?
Asians.
Okay.
The luxury brand, they take in about $80 billion
mm-hmm.
a year.
Okay. And did you hear my comment though? My comment was African Americans alone spent $27 billion. Now my thing is, I don't want to go back and forth with you, but to me, we're not talking about the Asians. Okay. I want to know, I'm talking about African Americans. We spend $27 billion on fashion. We run out here to get the latest things. And I want to know, what are we going to do about there's no representation of us on the runways?
I looked in a couple of magazines over the weekend, too. Okay. I looked in Ebony. I looked at Jet. I looked at Sister to Sister. I even looked at Ride On.
Wait a minute.
Is Ride On?
Wait a minute. Do Ride On still exist?
Yes, it does.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I looked at all the advertising in those particular magazines. I didn't see any advertisements from Louis, from Gucci, from Chanel, in any of those. So they're not really marketing to us, even though we do spend a lot of money in those stores. But what I'm saying is that they're not forcing us to come in those stores and buy those things. Okay,
well, I just feel like this, and Epiphany, you can jump in anytime, but I feel like no, and to me, that proves my point, even more. Now, so you're telling me that you did your research and they're not even advertising to African Americans in the African American magazines. So not only is there an absence of African American models on the runways, but now, according to MD, who's our fashion guru, all the magazines he checked out, there's no advertisement. There's not any advertisement in there in reference to Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all of that. It goes back to, in my opinion, Epiphany, it goes back to how we look at things culturally. It goes back to so many folks in my opinion, so many folks want to be like the quote unquote rich white woman that what they do is they are not looking in Right On and all those places for the top fashion and where to go. They're looking in the Vogue magazines. They're looking in the all the In Style magazines. When I was in Whole Foods on yesterday, I looked every single magazine that was listed there had a pale white face on that magazine in reference to fashion. And what I'm saying is, yeah, we can talk about Beverly Johnson, who was the first African-American model on Vogue in 1974. We can talk about her, but how long has Vogue been around, MD? And how many issues do they come out with? And how many opportunities do we have for African-Americans?
But if you look at the videos, if you look at BET, if you look at all the videos right now, the hip-hop artists, the R&B, if you look at those videos, do you hear what they're saying?
No, because I don't listen to those videos.
Okay, well, let me give you an example. Tierra Marie, Sponsor. Have you heard that song?
No, I haven't.
I'll give you a couple of words from the song. Put the Louis in my lap. And she ain't talking about Louis Armstrong either.
All right.
Let me give you another one.
Okay.
Break Up with Mario. Couple of lines. Did not lace you with the Gucci. Did not deck you in the Louis.
Okay.
So we are bombarded with these images every single day. And I'm pretty sure that these high-end luxury stores are not paying these artists to advertise in their videos. You want to look a certain way. You want to look like money. You want to look like you doing something. And when you want to look like you doing something, you at the top of the world, you go to those stores and you buy those products.
Well, I think that's ignorant. I'm sorry. I do apologize. We definitely want anyone that can chime in on this. 1-800-450-7876. We're talking about blacks in fashion. We received a lot of comments in reference to that. We know that a lot of people are at work. And a lot of people can't get to their phone. So what they do, Epiphany, is they do a whole lot of emailing and a lot of texting. Right now, my Facebook as well as my Gmail and my phone is blowing up in reference to blacks in fashion. If we have some time in the show, we will read some of that. But, MD, I still kind of disagree with you because I think that it becomes an awareness. We have to educate ourselves. And once we educate ourselves, then we realize, because yours truly, I went through that phase where I was in the high-end stores, buying $300 and $400 shirts and all that kind of stuff. And what we have to realize and what we have to remember is, after a while, I thought about it and I said, this is money going down the drain, because there's opportunities where you have there's a lot of black designers that are out here, that can make you nice, tailored-made clothing where you really don't have to go into the stores and pay all this money for Gucci and Prada and all these stores and all these places where, what are they doing for us? You know what I'm saying, MD? Because, and we kind of joked about it over the weekend. MD, everyone, is the designer king. He wears Gucci lace from head to toe and Prada and all that kind of stuff. Spend thousands of dollars on shoes and handbags and all that kind of foolishness, to me, when it's all about take that money and invest it. Take that money and spend it on something that is going to mature. You understand what I'm saying, Epiphany? I have a problem with us running around spending all of this money on designer clothes, having the big bottles in the club and all that kind of stuff, trying to have a so-called status quota. And yes, sir.
Let's go to the clubs. Okay, let me talk about that. You haven't been in the club in a while.
No, I don't go to.
Okay.
My club is the church.
When you out there in the club, you trying to book somebody, you trying to Mac, you got to use all the ammunition that you got. Are you there, Epiphany? You listening to me?
Yes, MD.
Okay, I'm gonna pose a question to you, Epiphany. All right, we discussed this earlier.
Yes,
now,
we did.
Two guys in the club, right? They both trying to holler at you. Epiphany, you looking good. Baby, I'm gonna talk to you for a second. You got one guy, they got on maybe some Adidas. I like Adidas. Some regular jeans, Levi's, and the white T-shirt. But then you got another guy hollering at you. He got on the Louis sneakers. He got the Gucci jeans on, the D&G eyewear. He got the Ace of Spade, big bottle walking around. They both want to talk to you. Epiphany, who are you going to talk to?
Well, in all honesty, MD Epiphany's going to talk to both of them, and then she's going to see what she gets out of the conversation. I
Lord
don't
have
really,
mercy.
really don't care what you look like because, as Beyonce say, I can upgrade you.
All right, we're going to go. All the lines are lit up. Let's take up. We don't have. We have to go to commercial, but let's take Eric really quick. Eric, talk to me this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Allen. I think we need a mind shift.
Okay.
I don't know who's making these rules or whatever, but the thing is, instead of us trying to, as you said, spending all this money on all this extra stuff is crazy. If we don't like the fact that we're not being represented, we need to take our money out of that business.
That's right.
We need to create our own stuff, and I'm not saying just support black people business, but black people need to come up with quality stuff for us to support. And as we start to go in and start to change that whole dynamic of what we buy and how we buy and how we wear it, instead of trying to keep up with the white folk, we create our own stuff and make it of quality.
Okay.
Start to change. The whole thing about America is that whole dollar.
All right. Well, thank you.
Out of that, okay, go ahead.
All right. No. We have to go to commercial. We thank you so much, Eric. And that's the important thing. We're going to talk about that after the commercial. All right, everybody. The C. Allen Morning Show, Blacks in Fashion. We'll be right back after these messages.
1450 WOL, where information is power.